Bridges on Air. Tulay sa himpapawid. Panagsanib na puwersa ng PBS Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Commission on Filipinos Overseas. Magsisilbing tulay sa himpapawid para sa Filipino diaspora. Dala ay balita, impormasyon at serbisyo publiko na mag-uugnay sa pamahalaan at OFWs sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Bridges on Air. Tulay sa himpapawid. Tampok din ang mga Pilipino na nagbibigay inspirasyon, kampyon ng kultura, tradisyon at katatagan ng Pilipino sa kapwa Pinoy saan man sa mundo. Bridges on Air. Tulay sa himpapawid. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Ang Commission on Filipinos Overseas o CFO ay kinagagalak na itanghal ang Bridges on Air kaakibat ang Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Para sa inyong kaalaman, ang CFO ay ang ahensya ng gobyerno na naatasang siguraduhin ang mga Pilipino saan man sa mundo ay may kaugnayan sa bansang Pilipinas. Nais ng CFO ng ating mga migrante ay kasama natin sa pambansang pag-unlad. Hangad ng CFO ang isang komunidad ng mga kagalang-galang at mahuhusay na Pilipino sa ibayong dagat na makabuluhang nag-aambag sa kapakanan ng bansang kanilang titirahan habang nanatili na matibay ang ugnayang pampolitika, pangkabuhayan at pangkultural sa Pilipinas. Kaya naman po ay nais namin ipakilala ang Bridges on Air, ang programang magbibigay ng boses sa mga Pilipino sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo upang ibahagi ang kanilang kwento, tagumpay at mga pangarap bilang migrante. Nagpapasalamat po kami sa tulong ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service upang mabigyan ng pagkakataon ating mga kababayan sa ibayong dagat na maging kabalikat natin sa mga usapin at talakayan patungkol sa pabansang kaunlaran. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang migranteng Pilipino. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
Muli po, isang mapagpalang pagbati sa inyong lahat at welcome na naman sa isa pang edisyon ng ating programang Bridges on Air. Hatid po sa inyo ng inyong himpilang Radyo Pilipinas World Service, ang International Overseas Station ng Presidential Broadcast Service Bureau of Broadcast Services. Ako po yung lingkod, Ray Sampang. Kasama pa rin, of course, si Mr. Ares Gutierrez mula po sa Commission on Filipinos Overseas. Good morning, Ares.
Magandang umaga, Kuya Ray. Magandang umaga sa lahat ng nakapakinig ng Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Ayan, and of course, syempre, ang ating pong himpilan, itong programang ito ay naisakatuparan sa pakikipagtulungan po ng partnership between CFO and PBS-BBS Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Ano po. At syempre, para sa edisyong ito, marami na naman tayong hatid ng mga kaganapan, informasyon sa kanila. Ares, dahil ngayong araw na ito, isasagawa yung MAMS Award.
Yes, Migration Advocacy Media Awards. Ito yung binibigay din. Ito yung binibigay nating award sa mga grupo at mga individuals na malaki ang naging ambag sa Filipino diaspora.
Yan, okay. So mahabang event yan mamaya.
Oo, magsisimula yan mamayang hapon hanggang inaasahan niya matapos medyo gabi na.
Ayun, okay. And of course, makakasama natin dyan si Julius Madlang Bayan. Magbibigay sa atin ng ulat. Jairus Madlang Bayan ang ating CFO Community Correspondent dito sa Manila.
Yes.
Ayan. Maghahatid siya sa atin ng ilang mga kaganapan tungkol dyan. And of course, para sa ating segmentong Pinoy Ako segment, makakasama naman natin si Mr. Clifford Robin Temprosa Lee. Yan. Yeah. Founder and CEO ng Dare to Change Consulting Incorporated. Live po siya sa ating studio. So pabatiin muna natin si Mr. Temprosa Lee. Good morning, Clifford.
Good morning po. Good morning everyone here. Thank you for having me.
Ayan, live studio po natin siya dito. At marami tayong mapag-uusapan mamaya kasama si Clifford. Ha?
Hindi pa tayo umi-air
marami
dami na natin napapag-usapan.
Marami na tayong tanong no? Baka kulangin yung isang oras dito sa atin. Anyway, interesting yung mga pinagpag-uusapan po natin mamaya. Pero alam nyo, itong si Clifford, multi-awarded din ito. Grabe rin ang listahan nito. No? Kung isa-isahin ko yung listahan ni Clifford, ay baka maubos yung ano natin, yung buong ano natin sa intro pa lang.
Haba ng profile. Pero impression ko dito kay, sabi nga niya, Cliff lang tawag natin sa kanya. Impression ko dito kay Cliff ay napaka down to earth.
At saka may mga tanong ako sa kanya siguro mamaya. Para maliwanagan na rin yung ating mga kababayan dito sa Pilipinas, ano. Besides dito sa mga achievements niya, yung mga ginagawa, advocacies niya.
Lalo na yung programa natin ay dinadala ng Voice of America.
Yes, oo.
So, maraming makakapakinig sa atin ng mga kababayan natin na nasa Estados Unidos.
O nga pala, speaking of US, good morning pala sa Olson family. Diyan sa may sa may Apple Valley, California. Ayan. Ano yata yun, papunta yata ng Las Vegas yung pag ganun yata yung sabi nila. At saka yung sa San Bernardino, meron din sa California. Alright. Sige, so mamaya po lahat yan. Mamaya, tabayan nyo, mukhang interesa. Marami tayong tanong eh. Sige, kay Cliff, no? Pero syempre, unahin muna natin yung kaganapan dito sa Moms Award para mamaya. Pero bago tayo dumako kay Jairus, narito po muna ang ilang paalala mula sa inyong himpilan.
Bridges on Air. Tulay sa Himpapawid. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Love Life Online? Baka human trafficking yan. Makialam, itimbre mo. Tumawag sa 1343 para humingi ng tulong. Paalala mula sa Interagency Council Against Trafficking.
Paano nga ba mag-register para magkaroon ng schedule sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center? Narito ang mga dapat gawin. Gamit ang iyong mobile device, pumunta sa eGovPH app. Pwede itong i-download mula sa Apple App Store o sa Google Play Store. Gumawa ng account. Ilagay ang email address, valid mobile number, pagkatapos ay makakatanggap ka ng one-time code sa iyong email. Gamitin ang code sa eGov app para sa verification ng iyong account at ng mga impormasyong ibinigay. Congratulations! Meron ka ng eGovPH app account. Pwede mo na ma-access ang iba't ibang serbisyo ng gobyerno kabilang ang mga serbisyo sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center.
Bridges on Air. Tulay sa Himpapawid. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Okay, kayo po patuloy na sumusubaybay sa ating programang Bridges on Air. At dito po tayo ngayon sa ating tadako tayo, Ares, dito sa report ni Jairus. No, mula dito para sa event na Moms Award ng CFO.
Yes.
Alright, nasa linya na ba si Jairus? Nasa linya na si Jairus? Okay. Jairus, Madlang Bayan, ating CFO Community Correspondent for today. Jairus, good morning.
Ayan, good morning po Sir Ray, Sir Ares.
Hi, Jairus.
Magandang umaga po.
Good morning, good morning. So, kamusta ang paghahanda natin sa event para dito sa Moms Award 2025?
Ayun sir, bale yung preparations po natin sa Mom Awards dahil nagsimula po tayo ng June this 2025 po, nagkaroon tayo ng call for nominations. Bale ilang months of preparations din po yung ating ginugol for this awarding ceremony, and for several months ang dami po nating nakalap na nominations na entries coming from different countries, no, mga Filipino migrants, media personalities po who have so many media works to offer para sa ating Filipino diaspora. And sa totoo lang po, we had the largest amount of nominees po for this edition. We had a total of 95 nominations sa 2025 Mom Awards. Madami pong categories dito. May books, may films, meron pong vlogs, and even yung mga media advocates po natin na yung cost nila is for the benefit of our overseas Filipinos. And as of today, we're currently po nasa venue ng ating Mom Awards awarding ceremony, and we will recognize today yung ating mga magigiting na awardees, recipients ng Mom Awards for their contributions,
sa development po ng ating migrant communities.
sa development po ng ating migrant communities.
paano yung sabi mo, Jairus, ay nagsimula
Yes
yung
po.
proseso nung June. So,
Yes.
ano yan? Dumaan ba yan? Dumaan ba yan sa isang panel na sila lang ang tumingin or ibang panel per category? Paano ba na trim down yung 97 nominees ninyo? To how many
Opo, Sir Alex.
awardees?
Yes po. Bale po may yung 95 nominees po na natanggap ng CFO Ma'am Awards team. Dumaan po siya sa mabusising proseso, selection ng ating Ma'am Awards judges. Yung ating mga judges po, sir, ay nagmula pa po sa iba't ibang sektor ng media, sektor din ng government, as well as yung ating representatives from migrant organizations. Andyan po ang Film Development Council of the Philippines, ang Philippine Migration Research Network, ang Philippine Migrants Rights Watch, pati po ang CFO. Sila po ang apat na bumubuo sa panel ng Ma'am Awards na kung saan sila po yung pumili sa kasalukuyang 18 na awardees ng Ma'am Awards. So from 95 nominees, pumili po ang ating judges ng 18 winners. Bale, itong 18 winners po na ito, well represented po ang 7 categories ng Ma'am Awards, which is yung print journalism, nandito rin po yung interactive media, yung mga vlogs. Meron din po tayong radio journalism, kung saan ina-awardan po natin yung mga podcast and radio programs, yung mga film, mga short films, full-length films, pati rin po yung mga advertisements. Nandito, pumapasok din po dito yung mga interstitials, yung mga commercial videos, as well as yung mga media advocates po natin, yung mga migrant advocates po natin.
Jairus, may pwede ka bang mabanggit na prominenteng awardee na paparangalan natin mamaya?
Ay, marami po, sir. Andyan, locally, sir, siguro para mas maging aware din po ang ating mga kababayan, baka familiar po sila, a-awardan po natin mamaya ang Kapuso Mo Jessica Soho in their special episode, Hello Love Dubai. Itong Hello Love Dubai po, fini-feature po niya yung isang Filipino community sa Dubai na kung saan nagtayo po sila ng parang isang maliit na Filipino house. Parang nasa Pilipinas ka na po kahit nasa Dubai ka pa. As well as parang fini-feature din po nila yung mga struggles na naranasan ng ating mga OFW sa Dubai and kung paano nila tinransform itong mga challenges na ito into something that can uplift their lives. Andyan din po ang MMK mamaya na kung saan na-awardan din po natin sila for their episode Traffic Story na pinagbibidahan po ni Bella Padilla na kung saan maganda naman po itong dramatization ng human trafficking na nararanasan po ng ating mga kababayan sa ibang bansa. And as well as meron din po tayong mga advocates na dadating po mamaya na nagmula pa po sa Canada, nagmula pa po sa US. Andyan po si Miss Rhea Santos, na ngayon po ay nasa Omni Filipino Canada, na dating GMA reporter.
Yes.
Andyan din po si Miss Mariton Pacheco, which was from ABS-CBN, na ngayon po ay nasa Omni Filipino News na rin po.
Marami
Bukod
silang
po
nasa
doon,
Omni.
marami pa po tayong awardan, sir, ng mga books, authors, directors. Ayun po, sir.
So, sino ang inaasahan nating guest of honor para mamayang gabi?
Ang ating guest of honor mamaya, sir, bale, since 2011 po kasi nagko-conduct na ang MAM Awards ng recognition para sa mga media works. And last 2017 o last 2019, inawardan po natin si Mr. Howie Severino with of course GMA for their programs para po sa ating migrants. So mamaya po tayo ay dadaluhan din ni Mr. Howie Severino, who will also serve as our keynote speaker. And hindi lang po si Mr. Howie Severino, marami po tayong guest coming from different government agencies, the partner ng CFO into promulgating our mandates and missions to connect our Filipino overseas back to the Philippines. Present din po mamaya si Sec Clink. Marami rin po tayong guest coming from our panel, si Direk Jose Javier Reyes from the FDCP, as well as other representatives po from the media.
Alright. So, mamaya yan, gaganapin niya mga today, mamayang hapon, ano? And it will last hanggang in the evening na.
Yes, Sir Ray. Bali po, gusto ko lang din po sabihin na naka-live po tayo ang MAM Awards awarding ceremony mamaya po sa CFO, sa Commission on Filipinos Overseas Facebook page. Mamaya ang 4:00 ng hapon. So, bali 4 o'clock po magsa-start yung ating mismong awarding ceremony until 7 o'clock po. Gaganapin po siya mamaya sa Quest Plus Conference Center, yung dating Crimson Hotel sa Alabang. Ayun po, sir. Pero mamaya naka-live po tayo sa Facebook, sa CFO Facebook page.
Ayun. So pwede nating i-share yan sa iba pa nating mga kasamahan, sa iba nating mga kaibigan, yung friends ng CFO.
Yes po, sir. Opo, welcome na welcome, lalo na po yung ating mga kababayan at yung mga pamilya at kaibigan ng ating mga awardees na baka nasa ibang bansa pa po at gustong makisubaybay at makaisa sa ating awarding ceremony mamaya. So welcome na welcome po ang lahat na manood ng ating Facebook Live mamayang 4 o'clock po.
Alright.
4 o'clock Philippine time.
Yes, sir. 4 o'clock Philippine Standard Time po.
Ayan, okay. Sige, well. Anyway, sa ngayon, so preparations pa lang kasi mamaya pang hapon siya, no? Na
Kanina pa yan sila na.
Kanina pa raw kayo doon, sabi ni Ares. Okay, para lang mas malinaw, saan ang pinaka-venue?
Yes, sir. Bali po, ang pinaka-venue po namin ay sa Grand Ballroom ng Quest Plus Conference Center, yung dating Crimson Hotel. Sir, opo. Dadaluhan po ito ng lahat ng awardees. Present po yung ating 18 awardees mamaya.
Sa Alabang ito, no? Sa Alabang.
Opo, sir, sa Alabang po.
Okay. So, sa lahat ng ating... So, meron na napili. Ulitin ko, out of the 96, 97, meron tayong 18.
95 po, opo.
95 ba? 95 nominees. Tama. We have what? 18
tayo
awardees.
ng 18, sir.
Oo.
Talagang
Okay.
piling-pili ito.
Pili yun, Piling-pili yun, Eh, matanong ko lang, sino ang nag-judge dito sa 18 na ito?
Ayun, sir, bali po, ang nag-judge po sa 18 na ito, sir, ay well represented po yung ating iba't ibang sectors. Yung ating migrant sector, which is coming from the Philippine Migrants' Rights Watch, tsaka po yung ating Philippine Migration Research Network. Sa ating media naman po, andito ang FDCP, pati po ang Film Development Council, pati po ang Presidential Communications Office, ang PCO, tsaka po ang CFO na pinapangunahan po ni Secretary Ang.
Ayun, talaga. Alright, sige. So, ngayon pa lang, congratulations na doon sa 18 na mabibigyan
maraming
ng award.
salamat, sir.
Okay.
Makakaabot po ang congratulations ni Mamaya.
Pakiabot na lang ang aming pagbati sa kanila. At
Yes, sir.
so, sa next year na naman, meron na naman ulit. Next year.
Meron yan.
Ayun, sir, bali po, ginaganap din po pala ang ating MAM Awards biennially. So, every 2 years.
2 years.
Mamaya, sir, magaganap din po yung launching ng ating PAFIO Awards, yung presidential awardees for our kababayans overseas naman po.
Mamaya rin yan.
Launching
Launching
ng nomination.
PAFIO Awards naman po. Isa pong awarding program din ng CFO, sir.
Alright. Okay. Ares, may iba ka pang tanong kay Jairus?
Wala na. Busy yan sila
Busy na ito,
Jairus.
Oo.
Itong si Clifford ay naging PAFIO Award ito.
PAFIO Award na rin to. Talaga naman. Ay, meron pa bang award na hindi nakakuha ito?
Ito, meron pa. Malamang manonominate doon sa isang matinding award.
Anyway, sige, hindi ko natatanungin muna si Jairus doon, ano? Okay, sige. Anyway, pwede ko ba, sige, para may suspense kung sino yung mga alright. Sige, so Jairus, maraming salamat sa oras ay pinagkaloob mo sa amin at pagbibigay mo ng kaulat tungkol dyan sa MAMS Award 2025.
Yes po, Sir Ray. Maraming salamat din po, Sir Ray, Sir Ares, Sir Clifford. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Jairus. Ano po, ayan, si Jairus po nag-uulat hinggil po dito sa gaganaping o gagawing Moms Award 2025.
Migration Advocacy Media Award.
Wow, ang dami pala. Ang dami. Ang daming 95, 96 nominations, tapos 18 lang ang mabibigyan.
Oo.
Salang-sala.
Ano yan talagang binibigyan talaga ng panahon yung pagbibigay importansya sa contribution ng ating mga migrants.
That's true. Ang malaki ang contribution. Kasi minsan, di ba, ang sinasabi, yung mga OFWs, ang mga overseas Filipino workers, through their remittances, help keep the economy afloat ng Pilipinas. Pero syempre, meron pang isang aspeto ng migration ng Pilipino. Yun yung Filipino diaspora, yung naninirahan na talaga, lumaki na sa ibang bansa, doon na nanirahan talaga, nakapag-establish na yung mga resident migrants na natin.
Yeah.
Yun yung isang aspeto na kung minsan hindi nakikita rin dito sa Pilipinas. Na ang laki rin ng role. Ang laki ng role. Doon pumapasok ang Commission on Filipinos Overseas.
Tama.
Alright. Mamaya makakausap na po natin ang ating Pinoy Ako para sa ating segmentong ito. At mamaya may papakilala na po namin ni Ares ang ating mga kasama ngayon. At ika nga, we are very privileged to have him dito sa ating episode nito. Sa ika-4 na episode ng Bridges on Air. Pero bago yan, magbabalik pa rin po kami makalipas ang ilang paalala.
Bridges on Air. Tulay sa Himpapawid. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Work abroad? Easy money. No visa. Baka human trafficking yan. Makialam, itimbre mo. Tumawag sa 1343 para humingi ng tulong. Paalala mula sa Interagency Council Against Trafficking.
Mabilisang trivia. Dagdag talino. Heto na ang Dagling Kaalaman.
Alam nyo ba na walang pagkain ang tunay na zero calorie? Sa halip, may mga pagkain na nagtataglay ng mababang bilang ng calorie na nakatutulong sa pagbawas ng timbang. Ilan sa mga ito ang mansanas, peras, pakwan, pipino, celery, kimchi at broccoli. Ikaw, ano ang madalas mong kainin habang nagdidieta?
Kaunting kaalaman na malaking dagdag talino. Abangan muli ang susunod na Dagling Kaalaman. Bridges on Air. Tulay sa Himpapawid. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Alright, kayo po ay patuloy na sumusubaybay. Dito na po tayo sa ating ikalawang bahagi ng ating programang Bridges on Air. Itong ating segmentong Pinoy Ako segment.
Pinoy Ako, tampok ang natatanging galing at dedikasyon ng Pinoy na nagbigay karangalan sa inang bayan at nagsilbing inspirasyon at modelo sa kapwa Pinoy saan man sa mundo. Pinoy Ako, dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And of course, Ares, ang makakasama natin para sa segmentong ito.
Siya ay si Clifford Robin Temprosa Lee.
Ayan,
Ito yung napakabata. He's only 25 years old.
25 years old. Who could...
Pero ang accomplishment nito ay kahit doblehin mo yung edad mo.
Inisip ko nga, 25 years old. Ano bang ginagawa
Oo
ko?
nga,
Ano bang ginagawa ko nung 25 years old ako? Naglalakad lang ako sa kalsada. Parang lost pa rin ako. Hindi ko pa rin alam kung anong gusto kong mangyari sa buhay ko. Parang kaya kung minsan pag nagigising ako, anong ginagawa ko sa profession ko ngayon? Nung 25, 20 years ako, hindi ko nga alam kung anong gusto kong mangyari sa buhay. Anyway, pero ito 25 years old.
Ang dami na niyang na-accomplish.
Pero ito para lang magkaroon ng konting idea yung mga kababayan natin kung bakit namin sinasabi ni Ares to. At 25 years old, naging international. Ito, bahagi lang to hindi ito yung kabuuan. Naging international vice president siya. With the Federation of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce. Okay.
Imagine.
Naging board member ng New York chapter ng National Federation of Filipino American Association. At naging kasama rin siya doon sa Youth Advisory Board for Young Invincibles. Ayan. At napakarami. And the Knight Officer of the Knights of Rizal. Yan, okay. Yung mga Knights of Rizal, yung mga matatawag ba nating fraternity ito, tong Rizal?
It is in bylaw of the Philippines Constitution
Yan, okay.
to honor patriotism.
Pero ito ang panakakagulat dito. Nag-serve siya at the age of 25. Nag-serve siya sa New York State Legislature. At pinangunahan yung mga kampanya sa Coalition for Asian American Children and Families kung saan nakapag-unite siya ng 100 organizations para makasecure ng $60 million in public funding. Eh, nung 25 years old ako, wala akong masecure. Gastos nga ako ng gastos. Hindi ko alam
Wala nga
saan
ako
napupunta yung
pamasahe
pera ko
nun.
nga. Okay. Eh, kung 20 ako noon, tapos panahon ngayon, maraming gadget, baka walang natira eh. Puro gadget na lang siguro binili ko eh. Di ba? Alright, sige Clifford. Ares, pakilala na natin ang ating featured Filipino para sa ating segmentong Pinoy Ako segment, si Clifford Robin Temprosa Lee. Good morning, Cliff. Can we call you Cliff?
Yes, Cliff. I love
Yeah,
it when
yeah.
people call me Cliff.
Yes. Good morning, Cliff. And we're very honored to have you dito sa ating programa. Maraming salamat sa pagpunta mo dito. Ha?
Thank you po.
Okay, so kung isa-isahin natin, ang haba eh.
Ibalik na lang muna natin siguro, Kuya Reza.
Oo.
Grounding muna tayo.
Oo, ground
Saan
muna
ka
tayo.
pinanganak, Cliff?
Pinanak po ko dito sa Manila, tapos nag-migrate kami to New York when I was 2 years old. So 2002 po.
Tapos, kanina kasi nung nagkakwentuhan tayo na tumira ka ba sa Cainta?
Di po, sa San Juan for 2 years sa San Juan.
San Juan.
Pero my family now, they're in Cainta.
Oo.
Yes po.
Okay, Kaita, dinadaanan ko lagi yan. Antipolo ko. Oo, dinadaanan ko lagi yan.
So talagang dito siya nagkamulat sa Pilipinas bago siya nagpunta ng New York.
Okay.
So saan kayo sa New York naka-base?
In the Bronx. The Bronx.
Sa sine ko lang napapanood.
Oh, di ba may sine pa, Escape from the Bronx?
The Bronx Tale.
Anyway, okay. So, alright. So, sa ngayon, nandun pa rin ang family mo. You
Yes.
still stay there sa Bronx?
In New York, yes po, sa New York po.
And how is our Filipino community doing sa
New York, they're vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
We see intergenerational businesses starting. We see original migrants who started yung mga turo-turo Filipino restaurants, passing it off to their kids. And second and third generation Filipinos who are really proud of the culture, wanting to start apparel brands, food industries, and they're very creative about it. But most importantly, advocacy. We worked on a campaign that won $1.6 million for NAFA, the nonprofit, to build a Filipino community center in New York.
Wow.
The first of its kind and the largest historical grant for any Filipino NGO in the States.
Wow. Okay.
Kanina may nabanggit siya sa atin, Kuya Ray, na you'll be launching a street named after Jose Rizal.
Yes po. So we wanted to find ways to honor our bayani. And so what initially started as a recommendation with the City Council of New York to build and honor it as a park, we now have a street named after Dr. Jose Rizal, right in the heart of the Filipino town in New York.
All right. Filipino. Where is that located?
It's in Queens po. It's called Little Manila. So it's consecutive strip of restaurants, Jollibee, Red Ribbon, local businesses where all the Filipinos gather.
Uy. Okay. So parang tama, parang maliit na Manila, no? Small
Yes,
Manila,
po.
Little Manila.
Tapos dati nakapunta ako ng New York, napakatagal na panahon na. The closest that you can get for Filipino food noon is Chinese.
Noon.
Pero ngayon, di ba, no, Cliff?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Kasi may nakita rin ako sa na-feature sa MSNBC na may mga doon, mga magagandang restaurant na Filipino.
Filipino owned and
Na
operated.
hindi yung nag-import lang ng mga produkto at binibenta. Hindi talagang may chef.
And some of them are chefs who
Oo.
are from the Philippines, trained abroad, and then established themselves in New York. And their culinary assistants are all from the Philippines too.
Okay. So, what keeps you busy now, Cliff?
Changing the world, seeing people smile. That's what keeps me busy. I think when a lot of people ask me, "Oh, what's your day-to-day like?" I don't overcomplicate it. I wake up every morning finding a way to make a different opportunity for someone else.
All right. Well, sige.
Kasi siya, Kuya Ray, he's the founder and CEO of Dare to Change Consulting. So ano yung ginagawa nung company mo na yun?
So we consult on social development services. So in the US, after leaving the nonprofit work I did, most Asian American nonprofits, they had multiple issues. They lacked funding, they lacked resources, they lacked a strategic pathway. So we created a business in which we can work with NGOs Chinese, Korean, Filipino, Vietnamese, whatever it may be, and give them pathways to secure government grants, create social media presence, develop social service programs, lobby the government, advocate. And from that consulting firm, we expanded it to the Philippines because we saw a deep need to support NGOs in the Philippines when the United States, US aid backed out of their funding.
All right. So, matanong ko lang, where do you get the inspiration? What drives you to do these things?
My main drive is not only obviously how do we work on building a better society for the people, but sa totoo lang po, it's understanding that my lolo on my dad's side, where Chinoy, so my angkong, he worked day and night to provide for my dad to come to the country. Then my dad also worked to provide. My mom left everything she knew behind, and so did my dad to give me a better life. So at the basis of it, I need to succeed because there's so many people who are standing on my shoulders,
Yes.
wanting me to succeed. But also, I think at the core of it is humanity is so pure. It's everything else around us that makes it difficult for humanity to elevate. And so how do we find every reason to give them the best chance they have to succeed?
Wow, okay. Well, just to mention this, para malaman lang ng mga kababayan natin na nakikinig sa atin ngayon. Cliff was named 2023 New York Power Player Rising and the 2024 AAPI Power Player in Politics.
Yes po.
In politics, okay. So you are involved in politics?
Yes po. I started when I was, I think, 19 or 20. Funny story, I was actually supposed to go to medical school. First
Okay.
time, I said, I don't want to do this. So I dropped out and I failed. Then I said, let's go to business because I was always good at it. But at the same time, in 2020, with the launch of COVID at the time, everyone was blaming Asian Americans for,
Yes.
for
Oh,
the
yes,
virus.
yes.
I said, I don't want to be those people standing behind a phone criticizing people in power, people who are negative. I want to go in the streets and do food pantry distribution.
All right.
From there, I got involved in politics. I met my local government officials. I messaged them, I want to volunteer for you. 3 weeks after volunteering, they gave me a job. There you go.
Wow.
So siya yung gumawa naalala mo nung COVID, nung pandemic, yung may mga community pantry dito na nagkalat. So siya yung gumawa nun sa New York.
Yes,
Yeah.
po. Mask relief.
Yun ang ginawa niya dun.
On the ground, no one knew who I was. And I didn't want them to know who I was. Yeah.
Okay. So, going back to the Filipino community in the U.S., particularly in New York, do they have any means of connecting with the Philippines, their motherland, even though they've already been raised there, may sarili na sila pamilya doon, lumaki na sila? How do they keep roots with the Philippines?
We're talking about second and third generation.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
For most of them, we have our own modern news outlet similar to ABS-CBN. It's called Collective Hustle, Filipinos in the Six, One Down Media. They talk about social and cultural issues. But for many of them, they still rely on what their titos and titas are saying, what their mom and dads are saying about the issues of the Philippines. And social media in the digital age, they're able to see all the influencers talk about the issues of the country, whether it's issues on the corruption, to economic mobility, to, hey, you should buy a condo in BGC. Right? They all get that readily available.
So hindi third-hand information,
Hindi.
second-hand or
Hindi.
third. Talagang
Oo.
fresh from the ground yung information na kukuha ng mga bata ngayon.
And speaking of media, si Clifford pala ay isa rin contributing journalist.
Yes. Yes,
Contributing
nabanggit
journalist
na yun. Oo.
regarding non-profit politics and policy with ABS-CBN International.
Yes po.
Yan. Alright. Baka pwede na rin natin silang maimbitahan sa World Service.
Why? You're very much welcome dito. Di ba?
Okay. With the
Napakalaking sa atin kung
Yes.
kasama natin si Cliff.
Oo, malaki talaga. Anyway, so Cliff, what are the challenges currently facing Filipinos now in the US?
I think a lot of them are very much scared about the deportation crisis.
All right.
They don't know what to do. There's a lot of misinformation. They don't have the funds to repatriate maybe. I think the foreign mission has a fund for foreign nationals. I'm not sure where they are of it, but it's a great program where they will support the financial endeavors to get them back home. But a lot of them are scared. There's no overcomplication of it, right? They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. And there's a lot of mobilization of resources, Filipino pro bono attorneys who are coming in. But at the time, I think there's a battle between Filipinos who are of the mentality that others should get deported, right? And the ones who are out of status or undocumented, who feel like they have the right to stay in the country. If they pay taxes, they work, they contribute to the local economy, right? That's the main challenge. Second, it's how do we get representation in the legislatures across the United States? Every state, Filipinos are growing, is one of the largest growing economic communities in the country, especially as an Asian American subgroup. However, we lack political representation and power in terms of government officials, whether it's a commission, to a legislator, to a senator. And thirdly, it's how do we view political power as a community? Do we vote? Where do we vote? When do we vote? Do we even see Filipinos voting for the overseas elections? Right? Not alone voting in New York State. Are they voting back home where, right? They serve as citizens.
Overseas
citizens.
voting.
Absentee
Yes.
voting
Yes po.
natin.
Yes po.
Wow, okay. So
Yun nga yung napasok na yung New York State Legislator. Ang sabi ni Cliff sa akin kanina, you're representing the Asian Americans, hindi lang Filipino.
Yes. So, okay. So, how does the Filipino community compare to other foreign communities?
In terms of political power,
Yes, in terms of political power.
I would say we have a lot more to get done. Right? The Chinese community, the Korean community, the Indian communities, they're mobilizing unlike every other community because they understand they not only need to vote, but they need to put money behind those resources.
All right.
My perspective is that because Filipinos historically have a proficiency in English, when they get to the States, they don't need to go through the same cycles that other communities do where they do not speak English.
All right.
Meaning, more likely a Filipino American will not be able to speak Tagalog as compared to a same generation migrant whose parents only speak Mandarin, where they have to learn Mandarin and English. Because of that, work becomes easier for people to receive. Promotions are easier, they're a lot faster. And so when that is more accessible, they tend to become laid back about the political nuance that they're surrounded by.
Okay. Ganon. Parang they have this sense of complacency.
Complacency and security because they're able to communicate with every other culture around them. And so that makes it easier for them to access jobs and opportunities.
Yun, advantage rin ng Pilipino yung
English proficiency.
Yes po. Yes
Yes,
po.
yun naman talaga lagi ang ang number one na...
Then advantage naman ni Cliff being a community leader that he speaks the language.
Yes. That's true.
'Di ba?
Oo.
Kasi communication 'yan eh. Kailangan marunong ka lumevel sa kung kanino ka humihingi ng tulong at kung sino yung tinutulungan.
Yes. Kanina nabanggit ni Cliff na may mga problema lalo na doon sa mga another side of the Filipino community na sabihin na nating illegally were nakapunta sa US, no? Na walang proper documents and they're looking ways kung paano sila matutulungan. Paano ang role makakatulong ba dito ang Commission on Filipinos Overseas?
Actually yung etong nandito si Clifford kasama natin. It's already a reflection on how we are trying to access leaders like him, lalo na bata pa siya.
Yes, so
Kasi malaki talaga yung vision ni Secretary Ang na kasi before kasi talaga ang limitation lang na parang ang intindi lang na pwedeng gawin nga ng mga migrants is magpadala ng pera.
remittances lang.
Ganun lang, padala ng pera, mag-sponsor ng kung ano-ano. Pero yung how to tap this rich resource, talent, yung ideas, yung pinapaliwanag niya kanina, yun yung hinahabol ng CFO. Kasi yun naman talaga yung mandate eh.
Okay.
Pero ngayon lang siya na-highlight.
Yun na nga eh. And hopefully sa programang ito, sa iba pa mga programa in the future, ma-amplify. Ma-amplify. So, okay. Yung embassy ba natin, dito, what are they doing para dito sa mga distress ng mga Filipinos na ito?
They're doing as much outreach that they can in order to get the the marketing out, and then that hey, these are what you should avail for, that they can take client cases based case by case scenario, working with attorneys. But we have to understand that once a Filipino migrant goes into a different country, an embassy can only do so much legally,
Yes.
right, to
Yes,
support
yes,
them. So every time someone makes a criticism, we have to understand what the root of that is. It's not necessarily the government or the Filipino government, right? It's they're doing everything in their power, but it's about how every other community can supplement the government to do its job, right? Because if we always point fingers at one entity, we'll never get the job done. We ourselves have to say, I'm willing to work with you. What can I offer you? Because I know you have the administrative power. But we as a local community who can organize Caviteños, people from Cagayan de Oro, people who are from Cebu, we can get you the people and disseminate your information faster.
Okay. So, is it safe to say that the immigration laws now under the Trump administration, this is his second term as president, is really targeting illegal migrants, those who illegally entered the U.S., not those who are legally residing and living or working in the U.S.
Not those who are legally there, or just the ones who are recently coming.
or recently coming?
No, they're targeting everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone. There is an emphasis on South Americans, but everyone. There is no. It's not discriminatory.
Okay.
If you don't have status or paperwork,
That's
we're
it.
gonna find you.
That's it. All right. So it's not, it's not just zeroing on a certain nationality or certain people. It's for all. No.
Parang basic law enforcement.
Oo.
Yes,
Ganun
sir.
lang siya talaga.
Anyway, okay, Aris, may iba ka pang tanong?
Eh, gusto ko ipakwento kay Cliff yung yung ginagawa niya ngayon, kaya siya nandito eh.
Yes.
Oo.
Alright. So, tulad ng tanong ni Ares, ano bang mga activities mo here in the
Oo.
Philippines?
Yes, and before I go, I want to preface that I do want to come from a place of humility, that I spent 6 months to meet from the barangay level
Oh, really? Okay.
to the community, to businesses, about what they feel the issues are about progress in society. And from that outcome, we launched 2 pieces. Dare to Change Consulting, we expanded to the Philippines so we can help NGOs scale. How can we get corporations like Deloitte and SM to work with a local NGO from Nueva Ecija who has the talent, who has the connections, but need the money and capital to do the work that they need to get done? So we connect those two. Second is the Dare to Dream Fund, which I'm so happy that we have launched. It's a fund in which we can seed capital and invest in young entrepreneurs, ideally 18 to 35. However, we have a focus on public university students.
All right.
The
Okay.
university students who work so hard, stay up later, are working class students, but just need capital. As long as they are a business or present a business model that has a social impact model, we will give them seed capital. We will find them a matching contributor abroad, a Filipino diaspora member. Ideally, the target is OFWs, right? So if they have $1,000 to spare, instead of maybe remitting in a balikbayan box, here's 1,000 so that you can spend on starting a business and investing in a business in your local community. So instead of buying condos, this is now active income for you and your family. So I'll give them 50,000 pesos. Someone else will give them 50,000 pesos as an investor. As long as, for example, the cafe that they want to start employs single moms. The grocery store they want to start has out-of-school youth. The restaurant they want to start teaches mental health every single month, or addiction prevention services. We'll give you capital for that. There's no discrimination.
Wow.
And does not matter where.
So, this is ongoing, Dare to Dream.
We just started it last week. We announced it at the Balikbayan conference
All right.
because we believe that if you dare to dream for the nation, we will dare to invest in you.
Ibang klase yun.
Wow. Okay. May naisip kagad ako. We can do a program entitled Dare to Dream. With Cliff. Di ba? Dare to Dream. And of course, that will feature yung mga beneficiaries ninyo.
The beneficiaries, and what we do is we give them enough capital to give us a minority share, 5%, 10%, whatever it may be, because we need to hold them accountable, diba? And that gives them the capacity to avail for our advisory. But we want to make sure the founder has always the majority interest.
Yes.
And that we look at them and say, we're not throwing money at you like a loan. We're holding your hand, because if your business succeeds, then all the single moms succeed. All of the
Correct.
out-of-school youth succeed, right?
All right. Under that Dare to Dream project or program, they don't have to pay it back.
No, we are just given equity, and if the investor chooses to exit at some point, they can exit. But we're asking the investors to be socially committed, meaning if this person's cafe employs single moms, the investor we want to find is a Filipino single mom.
All right. Okay. All right. I understand that now.
So parang may talagang solid na
May
buy-in,
bayanihan.
di ba?
Bayanihan talaga. Hindi katulad ng iba na, I'll
bigay
give
lang
you
pera,
50,000, bahala ka sa buhay mo, parang ganun.
Yeah, and we don't want them to pay interest, right? If their business succeeds, then the investor succeeds then.
That's true. That's true.
So meron na kayong meron na kayong beneficiary na umaandar na.
We just launched. We're working on the application screening process, but the Sunday after the Balikbayan conference, we hosted 50 students at the Global Business Leaders Network of the City University of Pasay. They're going to be our initial candidates to implement a business model for. But we're working with LGUs from that conference so that we can bring it to different areas. Some are from Bicol, some are from Negros. And so their issue was, how do we get local development from the diaspora? Question is, how do we get the diaspora to invest better in their local development? So we find this as a best opportunity to do so.
Actually, application, yung ginagawa ni Cliff is application ng mandate namin.
Yes, I was inspired by your conference. You know, I came up with that fund.
Oh.
The first day we had the dinner, I was so inspired. I went to sleep. I woke up. I said, this is what I want to launch.
Galing, ano?
Ganun lang. Natulog lang.
Ganon kagaling
He just
ng
went
bata.
to sleep. And then when he woke up, he has this idea already. And I'm going to do this. Ngayon, it's done. Gumagana na.
Saka Kuya Ray, iba yung nangarap ka or napanaginipan mo at gagawin mo yung pinangarap at napanaginipan mo. Diba?
Yeah.
Kaya nga, sometimes, kaya nga natanong ko kanina kay Cliff, what drives you para gawin lahat itong mga ito?
I think, I'm gonna spin off of, for me, a Bagong Pilipinas is the idea that you can take a dream into a reality. That's why so many people migrate out. As economic aside, jobs aside, people love the American dream because if you want to start something, you can, and you can succeed. I want people to feel like that can still happen here in the Philippines. For many, they call it a dark time, but every dark time has a shining door. You just need to be able to find the light.
That's nice. Okay, that's nice. Well, gusto ko mapahabain itong ating usapan, kaya lang wala na tayong oras. Pero I would like to express this kay Cliff, lalo na particular dun sa Dare to Dream program project mo. If we could expound it more, and probably if we could regularly
he can have a program here in Radio Pilipinas.
We're going to offer that slot for Dare to Dream, para kay Cliff at sa mga kung sino man yung mga kasama niya. At least that will serve more than an inspiration para sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Pilipinas at sa Filipino diaspora.
Imagine 20-year-olds who
Yesterday
they never thought they could start a business because they have debt, that they can't find capital. And now, they're able to do it.
Kaya nga di ba sabi ko kanina, Ares Cliff, nung ini-introduce natin siya, nung 25 years old ako, hindi ko nga alam kung anong gusto kong mangyari sa buhay ko. Noon yun,
I still don't know what I want to do, but all I can say is I want to provide.
Yeah.
Pero alam mo, yung talking to him, parang iniisip ko yung may kausap kasi ako kahapon. Ang reklamo namin pareho, yung mga bata ngayon na parang
yung mga generation ngayon.
Parang hindi namin masyadong maintindihan.
Pero ganoon din naman tayo nung bata tayo, diba?
Pero iba din yung and then here comes Cliff.
Yes.
Na meron siyang idea kung paano i-harness yung parang gap na yun.
Maganda nga eh.
Sana tulungan ng Radyo Pilipinas. Cliff.
Yes, and we're open to that. At hopefully open din sila, Cliff, at yun sa Dare to Dream program.
Siyempre po, I want to challenge every young person out there that they can do this. And I want to challenge every Filipino. If you have some funding, some extra money, we'll take it and invest it into a business of a young person. And then you'll see it reward yourself.
Okay, so watch out for that. Yung mga bagong programa dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Tabayanan niyo po yan. Alright, sige. Well, thank you very much, Cliff. Thank you so much for your time. And, ano pa bang masasabi namin sa iyo?
Alam mo, dapat si Cliff pang one of these days mapapangalanan tong 10 outstanding young men.
Sana.
Eh.
Yun nga nasa isip ko. I
Diba?
hope someday
TOYM.
makita kita doon na ano,
Oo.
'di ba? Yung 10 most outstanding Filipino youth, ano, na
Di ba may
achievers.
ganung award?
Meron. And sana, well, babalik ka ba kagad sa New York?
December 24, I'll go back and I'll be back here in March for
Ayun,
4
okay.
months again.
You don't have plans to stay dito na permanently sa Pilipinas?
I have to stay 6 months. Kasi
Okay.
balikbayan ako still, so I can't stay more than 1 year.
Kasi ganito, yung mga katulad ni Cliff ang kailangan natin dito ngayon sa Pilipinas.
But we need to learn from you, ha? It's my critique on on my generation. We keep saying people don't want to hear us, but we need to ask ourselves, how often do we hear the other side? Very quick joke.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I was an accident. My parents were very young when they had me. And when even the issue of reproductive justice, if you're from America and you're Filipino, of course you're very much more liberal about it. And you sometimes conflict with your parents. But how can you tell your parent who was raised in the Philippines, a more Catholic country, that they're wrong as much as you want to be right? So that listening portion is exactly what generationally we need here, everywhere around the world.
That's
Right.
That's true. Tama yun. Okay. Kasi naalala ko nga, nung, di ba, sinabi mo nga kanina, yung mga kabataan ngayon, medyo nahihirapan tayo intindihin sila. Pero, di ba, nung tayo naman ang kabataan, tayo naman ang nahihirapan makinig sa mga mas nakakaedad sa atin. So, parang, the gap, nagtutuloy-tuloy lang yung gap. Hanggat hindi ma-plug yung gap na yun, nandun lagi.
Pero yung mga katulad ni Cliff, sila yung parang sagot sa gap.
Yes, yun na nga. Yun na yun.
We're not pulling your leg, ha?
We're not pulling your leg.
Ano talaga, yung impression namin is malaki ang maitutulong mo talaga sa bayan natin.
Kaya nga tinatanong ko kung may plano ka nang mag-stay dito sa Philippines.
I want to get to that point.
Yes.
Yes, po.
Ayan, okay, sige.
Eventually siguro.
Sayang, kulang yung oras. Pero it's a very spontaneous discussion with Cliff dito sa ating episode
Yes,
dito na
yesterday
Bridges.
lang.
And I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much, Cliff.
Thank you.
Ares.
Maraming salamat, Cliff. Siya dito lang din, malapit Katipunan.
Okay. Dito lang siya staying here in Katipunan?
Yes po.
Okay, sige. Malapit lang pala. Alright, sige. Pero thank you very much, Cliff. Thank you very much. We're very honored to have you dito sa ating program. And Ares, maraming salamat din sa...
Maraming salamat rin, Kuya Rit. Pamunuan ng Philippine Broadcasting Service. Binibigyan natin ng importansya mga migrante. Bibigyan natin importansya ang kultura.
Yes.
Actually, yung sinasabi ko nga nung na-involve na ako ng gusto dito sa Radyo Pilipinas, ang daming programa dito sa Radyo Pilipinas na wala sa ibang stations na ang laki ng maitutulong para sa ating lahat.
Yes, of course. And of course, the ultimate goal of the program Bridges on Air is bridging. Yun nga yun. Tumutulay tayo. Through the airwaves, through our online digital platform, and through our shortwave broadcast, and hopefully nga with people like Cliff, yung mga bagong generation natin, makumpleto na yung pinaka-konsepto ng Bridges on Air.
Let's walk it together.
Yes, we'll walk it together. So, tabayanan nyo yung bagong programa with Cliff. Sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Again, ito naman po yung lingkod, Ray Sampang. And thank you very much po sa Commission on Filipinos Overseas.
Maraming salamat po.
Kay Sec Ang. And of course, we wish you all the best sa Moms Award mamaya at 2025. And to all of the yung na-nominate, yung mga mabibigyan ng award, congratulations in advance mula dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Again, maraming salamat po. At ito ang programang Bridges on Air.
Bridges on Air. Tulay sa Himpapawid. Panagsanib na puwersa ng PBS Radyo Pilipinas World Service at Commission on Filipinos Overseas. Magsisilbing tulay sa himpapawid para sa Filipino diaspora. Dala ay balita, impormasyon at serbisyo publiko na mag-uugnay sa pamahalaan at OFWs sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Bridges on Air. Tulay sa Himpapawid. Tampok din ang mga Pilipino na nagbibigay inspirasyon, kampyon ng kultura, tradisyon at katatagan ng Pilipino sa kapwa Pinoy saan man sa mundo. Bridges on Air. Tulay sa Himpapawid. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas World Service.